Every morning, millions of older men start their day with the same routine: a hot drink in hand, a moment of peace before the noise of the world kicks in. It feels familiar, comforting, like something you've earned after decades of hard work. But what if I told you that one simple habit in that moment, one innocent drink, could be silently sabotaging the very thing you need most? Blood flow, especially down there. See, if you're over 60 and you've noticed changes, slower mornings, colder feet, a fading spark in the bedroom, or a sense that your energy just doesn't bounce back like it used to, you're not alone. And you're not imagining things. But here's the surprising part. Those symptoms might not be age. They might be a signal, a warning from your circulation system that something's being blocked, and the culprit might be sitting in your cup right now. In my clinic, I see it every day. Men frustrated with their lack of vitality, stamina slipping, firmness fading, mood shifting. Many blame stress, aging, or even relationship tension. But when we dig deeper, I find a pattern that most of them never saw coming. It's not just what they're doing late at night, it's what they're drinking first thing in the morning. There's a group of popular drinks, ones you'll find in almost every kitchen, that seem harmless, even healthy. But under the surface, they're triggering a chain reaction in the body, one that quietly restricts blood vessels, depletes nitric oxide, spikes cortisol, and makes it harder for oxygen-rich blood to flow where it needs to. These drinks don't make headlines. They're not banned or controversial. But for men over 60, they could be the difference between feeling strong and connected or feeling flat, sluggish, and unsure of yourself. In fact, 3 out of 4 men I've worked with who were struggling with circulation in the pelvic region were unknowingly starting their day with one of these exact drinks. And when we removed it and replaced it with something better, things began to change fast, not just in the bedroom, but in their confidence, their energy, even their posture and sleep. That's why this video matters, because right now you might be doing everything else right. Eating well, walking daily, even trying supplements. But if your first drink of the day is working against your circulation, it could be holding you back more than you know. So here's what we're going to do. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the 3 worst morning drinks for blood flow after 60. I'll explain why they're dangerous in subtle but powerful ways. I'll also share the science behind it. No judgment, no fear tactics. Just the truth your body wishes you knew years ago. And most importantly, I'll show you exactly what to drink instead. Simple swaps, real results. Because you deserve to feel awake, alive, and fully present. Not just in your mind, but in your body. And that starts not with a pill, not with a device, but with your cup. So let's take a closer look at what you're drinking. It might be the quiet reason your mornings feel slower, and your confidence less certain. I'm Dr. Lily Anderson. For over 2 decades, I've worked at the intersection of nutrition, circulatory health, and men's intimate vitality. My patients have included retired athletes, former CEOs, war veterans, and quiet grandfathers who never missed a morning walk. Different stories, same challenge, a silent decline in blood flow where it matters most. And in almost every case, the real enemy wasn't just age, it was habit, small daily choices, especially in the first hour of the morning, that slowly drained their strength, stiffened their arteries, and weakened the spark they once counted on. You see, after 60, your body speaks more quietly. It doesn't always shout when something's wrong. It whispers. Through colder toes, slower reactions, shorter endurance, or that uneasy feeling that your body just isn't cooperating like it used to. But the good news is, your body is also always listening. Give it the right support, and it responds. Sometimes faster than you'd think. That's what today's video is about, not hype. Not some miracle drink or trendy fix, but the real, proven science of how certain beverages can either block or boost circulation, especially in the pelvic region, which is deeply dependent on healthy blood flow. Today I'll show you 3 common drinks that may be doing more harm than good, even if they seem harmless on the surface. And I'll break down how they impact your body's nitric oxide production, cortisol levels, and vascular flexibility, all critical for male performance, energy, and confidence. More importantly, I'll give you simple, natural swaps, things you can do tomorrow morning, without giving up the comfort of your routine, that support smoother, stronger circulation from the moment you wake up. My promise to you is this. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand how your morning drink affects your performance and circulation, you'll also feel empowered. You'll know what to change, how to start, and why it works, all without pills, all without judgment. Because aging doesn't mean losing control. It means learning to work with your body, not against it. So if you've ever wondered why your mornings feel slower, if you've started to miss that feeling of being steady, strong, and present in your own body, stay with me. This may be the first step toward reclaiming something you didn't even realize was slipping away. And it all begins with a closer look at what's in your cup. Let's start where most mornings begin, in the kitchen. You pour your usual drink. Maybe it's been your routine for years. But if you're over 60, your body isn't the same machine it once was. Circulation gets more fragile, hormones shift, blood vessels lose flexibility, and some drinks that felt harmless in your 40s are now quietly working against you. Let's look at the top 3 worst morning drinks for circulation down there. 1. The over-caffeinated coffee bomb. I'm not here to take away your morning coffee, but I am here to show you how most men drink it wrong and why that's hurting circulation. Here's the problem. Too much caffeine too early in the day, especially without food, spikes cortisol, your body's stress hormone. This cortisol surge tightens blood vessels, raises blood pressure, and suppresses nitric oxide, the exact molecule your arteries need to relax and allow blood to flow. Now imagine what that does to your pelvic region. Blood flow slows, vascular tension increases, and the very muscles that support firmness and energy get less oxygen, less flexibility, and less support. Most men drink their coffee black, strong, fast, and alone. No food, no fiber, no hydration. That's like stepping on the gas without oil in the engine. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Vascular Research found that excessive caffeine intake first thing in the morning reduced endothelial function in older adults by nearly 14%, especially in men with pre-existing blood pressure issues. That's not just science. That's a warning. So what should you do instead? If you love coffee, you don't have to quit. But here's how to do it smarter. Eat something first. Even a small protein and fiber-rich snack. Add a splash of unsweetened almond milk to buffer the acidity, and limit yourself to 1 cup, ideally no more than 90 to 100 milligrams of caffeine. Better yet, alternate days with green tea, which we'll cover more in a moment. It delivers circulation-boosting antioxidants without the cortisol crash. Coffee isn't the villain, but when and how you drink, it makes all the difference. 2. Fruit juice disguised as healthy. This one shocks most men. They reach for orange juice, apple juice, even those heart-healthy breakfast blends, thinking they're doing their body a favor. But what's really in that glass? Sugar, fructose, and almost no fiber. The problem isn't the fruit, it's the form. When fruit is stripped of its fiber, what you're left with is a fast sugar hit. And for older men, that sugar spike leads to insulin resistance, inflammation, and reduced nitric oxide production. Why does that matter? Because nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your arteries to expand. Without it, your blood flow suffers, especially in delicate areas like your pelvic floor. A 2020 study in Circulation showed that men over 60 who consumed high fructose beverages regularly had significantly reduced flow-mediated dilation, D, a key marker of arterial flexibility. What does that look like in real life? Colder hands and feet, slower reactions, and over time, a frustrating lack of firmness where it counts. Here's the fix. If you love fruit flavor, skip the juice. Instead, try infused water, plain water soaked overnight with slices of lemon, cucumber, mint, or berries. You'll get flavor, you'll get hydration, and you'll support blood flow without spiking your insulin or crashing your circulation. Another excellent option, a morning smoothie with whole fruit, Greek yogurt, and chia seeds. That way, the fiber stays intact, slowing the sugar release and keeping your blood vessels calm and open. 3 artificial health drinks and energy boosters. Now we enter the danger zone. So many older men are reaching for pre-packaged energy drinks, powdered vitamin beverages, or so-called morning metabolism boosters. They promise focus, stamina, fat burning, but what they often deliver is the exact opposite of what your circulation needs. Let's break it down. These drinks are usually loaded with artificial sweeteners, which confuse your insulin response, excessive caffeine, sometimes more than a cup of strong coffee, vasoconstrictors, ingredients that narrow your blood vessels, synthetic B vitamins in doses too high for older kidneys to process. One popular senior vitality energy drink on the market contains 180 milligrams of caffeine, sucralose, and niacin levels that triple the safe daily limit. For a younger man, that might feel like a boost. For someone over 60, it's a circulatory grenade. Here's what that combo does. Raises heart rate, increases vascular inflammation, reduces nitric oxide bioavailability, and promotes anxiety, tension, and even arrhythmia in susceptible men. Your body doesn't need more stimulation. It needs more support. The answer? Hydration plus nourishment. Try this instead. Warm water with lemon to wake up digestion, matcha green tea for a gentler caffeine curve, or unsweetened pomegranate juice diluted with water, packed with polyphenols that actually enhance nitric oxide, not suppress it. Remember, circulation doesn't need to be pushed. It needs to be encouraged. Let's recap the 3 drinks to avoid. Coffee. When taken on an empty stomach in high doses, without food, store-bought fruit juice, sugar without fiber equals blood flow sabotage, energy or metabolism drinks, artificial, overstimulating, and hard on the arteries, each of these quietly chips away at your circulation. And most men never suspect it. But once you understand what's really going on inside your blood vessels, you can start to change the script. And the best part? These changes don't require a prescription. They just require a smarter morning. In the next section, I want to share with you the story of a man who had no idea that his healthy breakfast drink was the very thing stealing his confidence. What happened next surprised even me. I want to tell you about someone I'll never forget. His name was Daniel, a 67-year-old retired construction manager, the kind of man who prided himself on doing things right. Every morning, Daniel stuck to a routine he believed was good for him. A brisk walk around the block, 2 slices of multigrain toast, and a tall glass of heart-healthy pomegranate juice from the store. He'd read about antioxidants. He'd seen commercials. He thought he was doing the right thing. But Daniel came to see me after a quiet frustration started taking over his life. He couldn't put it into words exactly, and he was too proud to say it out loud at first. But the truth came out in pieces. He told me his legs were feeling heavier lately. His walks were shorter, less satisfying. He had to sit down to catch his breath sooner. But the part that really bothered him, the part he said he hadn't told even his wife, was that something felt off down there. He still had the desire, but the response? Unreliable, unpredictable, and slowly disappearing. Now, I've seen this pattern too many times to be surprised. But what struck me was how committed Daniel was to doing everything right. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't careless. He genuinely thought he was following good advice. So I asked about his routine. We talked about food, supplements, medications, and then I asked him about his morning drink. He smiled and said, "That's my favorite part of the day. I drink a big glass of antioxidant-rich pomegranate juice every morning. It says, supports circulation right on the label." I nodded and asked to see the bottle. When he brought it in, we turned it over. There it was, 38 grams of sugar per serving, no fiber, added preservatives, and only a fraction of real juice content. What Daniel had been drinking every single morning was less of a health tonic and more of a sugar bomb in disguise. It was spiking his insulin, crashing his nitric oxide levels, and quietly contributing to the very circulatory problems he was hoping to fix. To his credit, Daniel didn't get defensive. He got curious. We made a few simple swaps. Instead of the store-bought juice, I had him try diluted pure pomegranate concentrate, just 1 to 2 ounces mixed in water. No added sugar, no hidden preservatives, just the real thing. We added a small protein-based breakfast before caffeine. He swapped his second coffee for a cup of matcha green tea around 10 a.m., and he began drinking a glass of water with lemon as soon as he woke up. No major overhauls, just smarter timing, cleaner choices, and better circulation habits. 3 weeks later, Daniel came in smiling. His walks were longer again. His feet felt warmer. And for the first time in months, he said, "I felt like myself again, like something woke up." He didn't say more, and he didn't need to. I could see it in the way he sat, the energy in his voice, the calm in his shoulders. Daniel hadn't changed who he was. He just changed what was in his glass. That's the power of small shifts. When you give your body what it's been quietly begging for, support, not sabotage, it responds. Because the body remembers, and it always wants to heal, if you let it. In the next section, I'll explain exactly what happened inside Daniel's body and why it made such a dramatic difference. You'll see how certain drinks either support or shut down the nitric oxide process, and why this simple molecule holds the key to better circulation, stronger performance, and renewed confidence after 60. Let's step inside the body now. Because what happened to Daniel, that return of warmth, energy, and confidence, wasn't magic. It was chemistry, predictable, explainable, and deeply rooted in how the male body works, especially after 60. At the center of it all, a tiny gas-like molecule your body depends on every single day. It's called nitric oxide. And if you've never heard of it, you're not alone. Most men haven't. But without it, blood doesn't move, muscles don't relax, and circulation, especially to your pelvic region, simply doesn't happen the way it's supposed to. So let me walk you through how it works, and why your morning drink might be quietly destroying it before your day even begins. What is nitric oxide? Nitric oxide, or NO, is produced naturally in your body. Its job? To tell your blood vessels to relax and open up. It's what allows oxygen-rich blood to flow easily through your arteries, especially to places that require sudden surges of blood, like your brain, your legs, and yes, your penis. In your younger years, nitric oxide is produced in abundance. Your body responds quickly. But after 40, and especially past 60, your NO production can drop by more than 50%. That's a huge loss. And it's one of the most overlooked reasons for poor circulation, weak morning erections, and a sense that your body just doesn't wake up the way it used to. Now, let's look at how your morning drink affects that. The 3 ways drinks. Disrupt your circulation. 1 caffeine on an empty stomach raises cortisol. Remember that strong black coffee first thing in the morning? Here's what it does behind the scenes. It spikes your cortisol, the stress hormone. Elevated cortisol constricts blood vessels. It also reduces nitric oxide production by suppressing a key enzyme called ENOS, endothelial nitric oxide synthase. The result? Your arteries tighten, not relax, exactly the opposite of what you want for pelvic circulation. A 2019 study published in Frontiers in Physiology showed that older adults who consumed caffeine on an empty stomach experienced delayed endothelial response and lower flow-mediated dilation. The scientific term for how well your blood vessels open up. Caffeine isn't evil, but when it's taken without food, hydration, or balance, it tells your body, brace for stress, not open and perform. 2 high-sugar drinks equals inflammation and insulin chaos. Next, let's talk about sugar, especially from fruit juices and flavored vitamin waters. Most store-bought juices contain 25 to 40 grams of sugar per serving. That's equivalent to a can of soda. Without fiber, this sugar hits your bloodstream hard and fast. And here's what happens. Your blood sugar spikes. Your insulin levels surge. And within 30 to 60 minutes, inflammatory markers rise, while nitric oxide crashes. Why? Because inflammation interferes with nitric oxide production at the cellular level. Your arteries get gummed up. The delicate lining becomes less responsive. Multiple studies, including one from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, have shown that high fructose beverages increase oxidative stress and impair the nitrite NO pathway, the very system that keeps your circulation alive and flexible. Think about this. You drink orange juice thinking it helps your heart, but inside it's inflaming your vessels, stiffening your arteries, and reducing blood flow to the very regions where performance starts. 3. Artificial additives disrupt NO pathways and hormone balance. Lastly, those energy drinks and metabolism boosters full of artificial sweeteners, synthetic B vitamins, and high-dose caffeine don't just overstimulate your nervous system, they also throw off your vascular rhythm. Some of these ingredients, like sucralose or acesulfame potassium, have been shown to disrupt gut microbiota, which in turn affects nitrate conversion into nitric oxide. You see, a large portion of your nitric oxide comes not just from enzymes in your blood vessels, but from bacteria in your mouth and gut that convert natural nitrates from food, like spinach or beets, into usable NO. If you constantly overwhelm your gut with chemical sweeteners and artificial compounds, you shut down part of that production chain, and your circulation suffers. The path back. How your body can recover. Here's the beautiful part. Nitric oxide can bounce back, often within days, when you stop blocking it and start feeding it. That's what happened to Daniel. Once we removed his sugary store-bought juice and replaced it with a small amount of diluted pure pomegranate juice, his nitric oxide levels started to rise naturally. Why? Because pomegranate is rich in polyphenols, powerful plant compounds that stimulate eNOS, increasing NO production, reduce oxidative stress, which protects existing NO from breaking down, improve endothelial function, allowing arteries to open more easily. In one clinical trial published in Clinical Nutrition, men who drank just 1.5 ounces of concentrated pomegranate juice daily saw significant improvements in FMD within 14 days, even without changing anything else. The same goes for green tea, beet juice, and even lemon water. These aren't magic cures. They're biological partners, giving your aging body the raw materials it needs to restore what time and habit have slowly drained. One more hidden hero: hydration. Before we move on, I have to mention something even more basic: water. Dehydration is one of the most overlooked causes of sluggish blood flow in men over 60. When your body lacks water, your blood becomes thicker, circulation slows, your arteries become less responsive to nitric oxide, and most men start their day already dehydrated from sleep. Then they make it worse by adding coffee, which is mildly diuretic. That's why I tell every patient, before you sip coffee, tea, or anything else, drink a full glass of water with a squeeze of lemon. It kickstarts hydration, supports NO production, and flushes out early morning inflammation. It's simple, but it works. In the next section, I'll show you exactly how to build your own circulation-supporting morning ritual, one that restores flow, strengthens performance, and helps you feel confident again, because knowing the science is powerful, but putting it into practice with small, daily steps is how you reclaim your energy. Let's make that easy, and let's start tomorrow morning. There's something powerful that happens when you realize your body isn't the enemy. It's not fighting against you. It's not failing. It's simply responding. to what you feed it, to how you treat it, to what you give it, or what you forget to. And the good news? That means you can change the outcome. Because even after 60, even if you felt flat, frustrated, or disconnected for years, your body still listens. It's still waiting for you, not with demands, but with potential. The real key isn't in overhauling everything at once. It's in choosing one thing and doing it differently. Let me show you what that looks like. Tomorrow morning, instead of pouring that sugar-filled juice, instead of reaching for the strongest coffee on an empty stomach, instead of drinking a bright-colored energy booster made in a lab, try this. Start your day with a tall glass of water, 8 to 10 ounces, with a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of sea salt. Hydration is the first signal you send to your circulatory system. Water tells your blood to move. It says, wake up, open up, let's go. Have a small protein-based breakfast first, even something as simple as steel-cut oats with chia seeds, a boiled egg, or a half cup of Greek yogurt with blueberries. This stabilizes your blood sugar and gives your body something to hold on to. So when you do drink caffeine, it doesn't shock your system. If you drink coffee, pair it with food and limit it to 1 cup. And if you're open to it, try replacing that second cup with something gentler, matcha green tea, or warm pomegranate water, even herbal teas like hibiscus or ginger, both of which help reduce inflammation and support blood flow. And if you miss that sweet taste in the morning, slice up a few oranges or berries and drop them into your water the night before. Let the flavors infuse naturally. What you'll wake up to is hydration, antioxidants, and gentle support. Not a sugar spike and crash. You don't need a supplement stack. You don't need an extreme cleanse. You don't need to give up comfort or flavor. You just need to shift from circulation blockers to circulation builders. Daniel, the patient I mentioned earlier, didn't change his life overnight. He just changed his glass. And that small act, that morning choice, rippled into everything else. His walks got longer. His sleep got deeper. His confidence started coming back in quiet, subtle ways. And if he can feel that shift after 3 weeks, imagine what your body could feel in 2 months or 6. Because here's the truth no one tells you. The body is always renewing. Arteries can heal, blood vessels can reopen, nitric oxide can rise again, and your spark, the one you thought was gone, can return. It just needs the right fuel, and most importantly, it needs your permission. So whatever your mornings have looked like until now, whether rushed, skipped, or running on caffeine and habit, leave the shame behind. It has no place here. This isn't about judgment, it's about direction. And the best direction you can take right now is the smallest one. Tomorrow morning, choose differently. 1 drink, 1 glass, 1 change. That's how circulation begins to come back. That's how confidence comes back. That's how you come back. In the final part, I'll walk with you through what happens next, not just in your body, but in your identity. Because the man you've been waiting to feel again, he's still here, and he's just 1 habit away. There's something powerful that happens when you realize your body isn't the enemy. It's not fighting against you. It's not failing. It's simply responding to what you feed it, to how you treat it, to what you give it, or what you forget to. And the good news? That means you can change the outcome. Because even after 60, even if you felt flat, frustrated, or disconnected for years, your body still listens. It's still waiting for you, not with demands, but with potential. The real key isn't in overhauling everything at once. It's in choosing one thing and doing it differently. Let me show you what that looks like. Tomorrow morning, instead of pouring that sugar-filled juice, instead of reaching for the strongest coffee on an empty stomach, instead of drinking a bright-colored energy booster made in a lab, try this. Start your day with a tall glass of water, 8 to 10 ounces, with a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of sea salt. Hydration is the first signal you send to your circulatory system. Water tells your blood to move. It says, wake up, open up, let's go. Have a small protein-based breakfast first. Even something as simple as steel-cut oats with chia seeds, a boiled egg, or a half cup of Greek yogurt with blueberries. This stabilizes your blood sugar and gives your body something to hold on to. So when you do drink caffeine, it doesn't shock your system. If you drink coffee, pair it with food and limit it to 1 cup. And if you're open to it, try replacing that second cup with something gentler. Matcha green tea or warm pomegranate water. Even herbal teas like hibiscus or ginger, both of which help reduce inflammation and support blood flow. And if you miss that sweet taste in the morning, slice up a few oranges or berries and drop them into your water the night before. Let the flavors infuse naturally. What you'll wake up to is hydration, antioxidants, and gentle support. Not a sugar spike and crash. You don't need a supplement stack. You don't need an extreme cleanse. You don't need to give up comfort or flavor. You just need to shift from circulation blockers to circulation builders. Daniel, the patient I mentioned earlier, didn't change his life overnight. He just changed his glass. And that small act, that morning choice, rippled into everything else. His walks got longer. His sleep got deeper. His confidence started coming back in quiet, subtle ways. And if he can feel that shift after 3 weeks, imagine what your body could feel in 2 months or 6. Because here's the truth no one tells you. The body is always renewing. Arteries can heal. Blood vessels can reopen. Nitric oxide can rise again. And your spark, the one you thought was gone, can return. It just needs the right fuel. And most importantly, it needs your permission. So whatever your mornings have looked like until now, whether rushed, skipped, or running on caffeine and habit, leave the shame behind. It has no place here. This isn't about judgment, it's about direction. And the best direction you can take right now is the smallest one. Tomorrow morning, choose differently. 1 drink, 1 glass, 1 change. That's how circulation begins to come back. That's how confidence comes back. That's how you come back. In the final part, I'll walk with you through what happens next, not just in your body, but in your identity. Because the man you've been waiting to feel again, he's still here, and he's just 1 habit away. If you've made it to this point, I want you to take a breath, really, right now. Inhale slowly, exhale deeply. Feel that? That's your body listening. That's your heart showing up for you. Even now, that's proof that you're still here, still fighting, still choosing to care. Because most men don't make it this far. They give up. They assume it's too late. They tell themselves, this is just what happens with age. And they shrink into silence, even when something inside them knows better. But you stayed. You listened. You leaned in. And that alone tells me something important. You haven't given up. You still believe change is possible. And I believe that too. With every patient I've seen regain strength, warmth, and spark after years of feeling stuck. You see, your circulation isn't just about physical function, it's about connection to your body, to your partner, to the way you walk, sleep, touch, love, and live. That's why this matters. Because a man who feels blood flow return to his legs, his hands, and yes, his groin, isn't just stronger. He's steadier, more present, more grounded in who he is. And all of that can begin with something as simple as what's in your glass tomorrow morning. So here's my gentle challenge to you. Before the sun rises, before the noise begins, before you reach for what's familiar, pause. Take 1 quiet moment for yourself and make a different choice. Not because you have to, but because you deserve to. Try one of the swaps we discussed. Start with the lemon water. Try green tea or a few drops of real pomegranate concentrate in warm water. Even if it feels small, let it be small. Because small is powerful when it's repeated. If you do that, if you choose that one act of care, you're no longer drifting. You're directing. And I promise you, your body will feel it. It will respond. And over time, it will thank you in ways you can't even imagine yet. And if this message spoke to you, if something inside you stirred or softened or simply said, yes, this is what I needed, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment below. Just type 1 if this resonated, or 0 if you're still unsure and want to learn more. I read every single one. Your words help me guide future videos, and they might just be the encouragement another man needs to begin his journey too. And if this gave you hope, even a small glimmer, consider sharing it with someone you care about, because there's nothing more powerful than one man telling another, you're not broken. You just need better fuel. Subscribe if you'd like to keep learning with me. Each week, we dive deeper into circulation, confidence, and simple habits that bring you back to life. No pills, no pressure, just truth. And remember this, you're still writing your story. And tomorrow morning, with one sip, one choice, you get to turn the page. The strength you thought you lost, it's still there, and it's waiting for you. Take care, keep going. I'll see you in the next video.